Good afternoon. Welcome you all to the 22nd edition of Open House by DDAG. I'm Mugdha. Since this is our first gathering of the new year, I would like to extend best wishes to all of you from the entire DDAG family. And I hope all of you have a great year ahead and stay safe and stay healthy in this pandemic situation. Now coming to the today's topic. In December last year, the Dam Safety Act received the President's assent and it came into effect. This act provides for surveillance, inspection, operation, and maintenance of the specified dam for prevention of disasters related to dam failure. It also provides for institutional mechanism for their smooth functioning. Today, we'll try to know more about this Dam Safety Act 2021. And to know about this act, we have invited Shri N.K.Mathur, former member DNR Central Water Commission. I'll give a brief introduction of Mr. Mathur. He is an alma mater of MBM Engineering College, Jodhpur and University of Roorkee. He joined CWC in 1984. He has worked at different levels in CWC, Ministry of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation in various fields such as hydrological observation, flood forecasting, monitoring and appraisal of projects. He worked in hydrology study organization at various levels for about 12 years. He worked as chief engineer in Godavari River Management Board. As member DNR, he supervised the dam safety organization overseeing the World Bank assisted dam rehabilitation and improvement project. He has co-authored several technical articles in different national and international seminars and conferences and delivered lectures in several workshops. After superannuation, he is associated with various dam safety review panels of different agencies, besides the consultancy on different aspects in water sectors. I now request Mr. N.K. Mathur to take the platform and open today's discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, and I thank Dhawan Academy for providing me this opportunity to be with you all, and I congratulate Dhawan Academy for the initiative to start the discussion on Dam Safety Act, which is a recent development. Only last month it has received a presidential assent. But as we will proceed further, we will know that this efforts for bringing out this act are not new. We had been trying hard for last 40 years to bring out, and so many professionals, great professionals had worked on this act, and we have tried to improvise according to the demands of various sectors and addressing the various concerns of various stakeholders so that this act can see the light of the day. So surprisingly, whenever we talk to about this act, most of the people say, "अरे डैम सेफ्टी के बारे में कोई एक्ट था ही नहीं आज तक." Even common people are really aghast that there was no legal framework for dam safety, and we have survived that so far only because most of the dams are in government sector, and because of these dams being in government sector. Even if there are some failures or something else, government compensates and exchequer pays for it, and therefore only the UN cry about the property and loss of property and loss of individuals takes place, but no legal problems have ever come before the dam owners. But as we know now that there are so many dams that are coming in private sector also, and we can in 21st century we cannot say that we don't have any legal framework, even if there is some responsibility of government or private or PSUs or anybody. The responsibility is needed to be codified, and we knew about it right from the beginning when Machu dam failure took place in 1978-79, and since then we are trying to inculcate the dam safety scenario. So, dam safety culture we tried to bring into in India. So, today I will talk about this Dam Safety Act and dam safety scenario in India. So, the presentation is visible to everybody?
Yes, yes, Mathur sir.
Okay. So this Dam Safety Act 2021, the scheme of presentation will be that I will divide it into three parts. In first part, I will go about overview of dam safety activities in India. Second part, existing dam safety mechanism. And then we will come back to the dam safety bill. So, regarding overall overview of dam safety activities in India, one thing is there, everybody in India and particularly this forum is of water resources engineers and water resources professionals other than engineers. So they know that storage is required because of seasonal rainfall in India. There is temporal variation and spatial variation. So we need storages. Water security and food security are essential for a country. Need of storage cannot be undermined, and climate change will further increase the importance of the storage. And the biggest problem now is that new dams are very difficult to bring out. There are so many environmental concerns, so many population, thickly populated areas coming, and we cannot deforest the land, and we cannot go into wildlife sanctuaries and so many things. So it enjoins upon us the responsibility that at least keep the existing dams safe and operational and till they can serve their useful life, and keeping this dam safe is a very small step towards ensuring water and food security. So we are just not talking about dam safety, we are talking about food security and water security of the country, and climate change adaptation is also part of it, because we have to preserve our storages. If we see the map of India, the dams are located almost everywhere. All these red dots are dams. You may see that Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh area is thickly dense because there are so many dams there. And then there are dams spread everywhere. They are near the Nepal border and so many other places. So this is the spread of dams, and this shows that how big the task is about the dam safety. So India is number 3 in number of dams all around the world. And over the last 50 years, India has invested substantially in the dams. More than 5,000 dams are there, and storage capacity created is 253 billion cubic meter. We want more. Need of our storage is much more, but at least we should preserve these 253 plus whatever 51 BCM that is coming under this. Then there is if we talk about risk of dam failures, there had been 200 notable dam failures all around the world. Globally, about 2.2% of the dam built before 1950 have failed, while the failure rate of dam built since 1951 is less than 0.5%. That is obviously because we have got better technology and better monitoring of the better understanding of the processes, because before 1950 we didn't have even simple concepts like chimney filters in earth dams, and all such concepts have been developed over the years, and therefore after 1950 some failures have reduced. India too has its share of dam failures. First failure recorded in Madhya Pradesh during 1917, and then there are 36 reported failure cases so far. So this is the graphic about reported dam failures. We see that 44% of the dam bridge failure are due to flooding. That means these dams have failed because of hydrological problems, and overtopping due to inadequate spillway is the another thing, another bigger share, and piping and bad workmanship is the third. Rest everything is smaller. If we look at by years, 1951 to 60 there was a lot of failures, and then there are 2001 to 2010 because number of dams had been increased. So another bigger peak of failures is recorded in 2001 to 2010. State-wise, if we see, Rajasthan has got maximum failures because most of the dams are remaining dry for years, and there are pipings and rat holes and everything. And when there is a sudden spur of rainfall, sudden water reaching to a certain level, the piping starts, and the dams have filled. However, no definite conclusion can be drawn about the state of dam health in respective states. So if we see towards the types and causes, earth dams have got a number of failures more. Composite dams and masonry dams have failed less. But despite more than 83% failure shares, risk associated with earth dams is not heightened. No failure recorded in case of concrete. They may not emphasize it is safe. These are just reasons of failures are different, and so we should not draw any conclusion about the type of dam being safe or unsafe. Regarding aging, many of the people loosely say that we have got so many dams, out of which so many are older than 500 years or something. There are so many which are 100 years of age or something, and then there are so many which are 50 years or something out of 5,000 dams. But failure of dams are recorded highest in 0 to 5 years of the age of the dam failure. So this is a misnomer argument that older dams have got larger chances of failure. Failure of the dam happens in its first filling, 0 to 5 years, and that is because in field the first filling has ever been not been supervised by professionals, and therefore the failures takes place in first filling. And dam safety bill has addressed this aspect, and we have provided specifically that the first filling should be in presence of qualified dam engineers. And regarding the old dams, I would say that if a dam has not failed for 100 years, there is no reason that it will fail in 101st year. Regarding materials, if we say earth dam is becomes almost part of the earth surface. It becomes integral part of the earth surface, and therefore it cannot fail. Regarding concrete dam, we all know that concrete is young at 100 years, and so the age related dam safety issues are there. We have to take care of their issues. Issues do arise as the things get old. There can be some cracks, there can be some leakages, there can be so many issues. Those issues need to be addressed, but silent failures or peaceful failures which happen in first 5 years are not generally observed in older dams. Older dams are much more safe. They have stood test of the time. Dam safety has to be a priority concern in India because safeguarding water security and huge investment in infrastructure, as we already said, increasing there are number of dams are increasing, and worldwide it has been generally recognized that a successful dam safety assurance program requires a dedicated institutional structure with access to top management attention, and that is the whole emphasis of dam safety activities, which we started in 1979 or so after Machu's failure, and has culminated in Dam Safety Act in last December. We want an institutional structure. We want responsibilities to be known beforehand. Who will do what for maintaining the dam, for making them safety assured, and of course, if something happens, who will be the responsible? So far, India had got mostly the dams in government sector, but new dams are coming in private sector also. And safety of dams in India has to be the principal. Anywhere in world, safety of dam in India, safety of dam is the responsibility of dam owner. So far, the dam owner has been state government, and dam supervising dam safety supervision was also with the state government. So we could not distinguish between the two roles of the state government. Now we are separating the role as dam owner separately and dam supervising dam safety supervision authorities separately, and that is how we want to develop the institutional framework. So we come to the existing dam safety mechanism. As you know, we have got a three-tier dam safety mechanism. At the bottom, these are the dam owners. These dam owners should report to state dam safety organizations, which we have been encouraging that the states form these organizations for last 40 years. Many of these states have constituted their state dam safety organizations. Last I know is about 16 states which have got their state dam safety organizations. Then there are responsible PSUs like NHPC, which has got dam safety cell, dedicated dam safety cell with them. And that is the second tier, which supervises these dam owners directly. And then there is a central dam safety organization with the National Committee on Dam Safety. This is located in Central Water Commission, and this forms the framework, the policy framework, the technical framework of the entire dam safety scenario in the entire structure. So this three-tier dam safety mechanism has come to some shape in last 40 years. There was a NCDS, National Dam Safety Committee, which was constituted in 1987, and its chairman was Central Water Commission. It broadly it covers the forum of exchange of views. It oversees dam safety activities, and it has got some 3 subcommittees also. And till 2018, there had been 38 meetings. I am sure 3-4 meetings every year it meets, so 3-4 more meetings would have taken place by now. Then there is Central Dam Safety Organization. This is in Central Water Commission and is headed by Chief Engineer Dam Safety, and it has got some 3-4 directorates. This dam safety organization was established in 1979, and since then we have been providing technical assistance and framework assistance and so many things to the dam owners, state governments, etc. And the biggest thrust that was provided to Dam Safety Act is coming through Central Dam Safety Organization of Central Water Commission. We produced the first bill, draft bill, and long history followed after that. So CDSO has prepared a number of guidelines on dam safety and circulated to the state governments, compiled National Register of Large Dams. Previously, there was not even a record how many dams has got, which state has got how many dams. Then it is imparting trainings, it is transferring the technologies, and on specific requests from CDSO, they can provide the guidance and some technical assistance also to them. Then the state dam safety organizations around 18 states and 4 organizations like NHPC, BBMB, DVC, and Kerala State Electricity Board have constituted their dedicated dam safety units. However, there is no uniformity in administrative setup. Somewhere only an executive engineer has been declared as in charge of dam safety organization, and somewhere there are chief engineers who are heading the dam safety organizations. So so far, before the Dam Safety Act coming into the picture, the framework of dam safety organizations is quite loose, quite based on goodwills only, and based on say pulls and pushes and carrots and sticks, and we have been providing some technical assistance and fund assistance also arranged through the World Bank to the states which follow these good practices and become part of the project assisted by the World Bank. The biggest achievement of the dam safety activities so far had been that we could come out with a protocol of safety inspections. So we had been emphasizing on how the dams should be inspected. We produced guidelines for the dam safety inspections, and we trained the engineers of the states for dam safety inspections, and we take dam safety inspections at least twice a year, pre-monsoon and post-monsoon, to find out the general health of the dam and appurtenant structures. Then we provide for a comprehensive dam safety evaluation. We have done model-less comprehensive dam safety evaluations for dams like Kadana and dams like Bhakra, and produce these documents to show the dam owners how the comprehensive dam safety evaluation can be done. These dam safety inspections should be done by a dam safety review panel consisting of various experts. So far, the dam safety review panels were appointed by state governments on the informations available with them. But now the dam safety inspections guidelines have guided them to have a dam safety review panel according to the composition prescribed and according to the qualifications of the members which can be the part of these panels. And Central Water Commission on its dam side provides a biodata bank of such experts so that state governments can appoint the dam safety review panels through the biodata bank, and they can also the biodata bank is not binding. They can also find out their experts somewhere else also, but that is just to help. ऐसे ही जो ऐसे पूछते हैं कि भाई किसको ले लें, तो उसके लिए we have provided some framework where the biodata is stored. As anybody knows, obligation of dam owner should be to codify that the required dam. They should have a dam safety unit with trained people. They should have an emergency action plan. Risk assessment studies should be done. Flood forecasting warning should be there, and comprehensive dam safety evaluations they should do. So this was just a informal obligation which we tried to inculcate, which we are trying to include in Dam Safety Act. As we know, before this Dam Safety Act, the Dam Safety activities were boosted through carrot and stick. So we had some funding of the Dam Safety Act to boost the awareness about dam safety. We had got a DSARP, that is Dam Safety Assurance and Rehabilitation Project. It worked from 1991 to 1999. Initially, there were 4 states. Then it spent around 422 crore rupees. And it encouraged people to have the periodic dam safety inspections, preparation of O&M manual, dam break studies, emergency action plans, and also rehabilitation of some dams which were in distress. There was a child program of this as a DRIP, Dam Rehabilitation and Improvement Program, and this also started in April 2012, and it was to finish in 2018, but the program was functioning well and some work was remaining, so it was extended, and it has recently ended in 31st March 2021. Original cost of it was 2100 crore rupees, and it was a very large scale program. So 7 states and 8 state agencies and 2 central agencies were its part. And some 223 dam projects were taken up. And overall Central Water Commission supervised it. And this program was very much successful. So now the second and third phase of this program has also started, and it is going to be much larger than the previous programs, and it will be horizontally also expanded to more number of states. And so all these efforts have been to inculcate the dam safety awareness, inculcate the dam safety structures, develop the dam safety structures, and encourage the dam safety activities in India informally because there was no legislation. So now we come to the main topic, that is the Dam Safety Act 2021. So in 1982, there was a committee which decided that there should be an enactment of dam safety legislation. There should be Central Water Commission and so many associates, and in NCDS meetings, it was discussed, and a comprehensive model dam safety bill was prepared and circulated to states for comments. States responded well to the draft bill, and in fact, Government of BR passed also this act in 2006. Then Government of AP and Government of West Bengal said that we want that the Parliament should pass this act under Article 252. So we took up this act for passing by Parliament, and Dam Safety Bill 2010 was established. So the first formal central dam safety bill was prepared in 2010 and placed before the Parliament in 30th August 2010. The bill was then subsequently referred to Parliamentary Standing Committee, and Parliamentary Standing Committee gave some suggestions. Then there were so many suggestions. The biggest suggestion was that don't pass it for under state list, pass it under central list, under entry 56 plus residual power of disaster management. There were so many other significant changes also suggested by them. So this act was allowed to be lapsed, and fresh proposal for enactment of dam safety bill was prepared under Article 252 of the under the residual powers, entry 56 and entry 97, and Ministry of Law and Justice opined that the Government of India is competent to enact it. There have been so many questions being raised by some states that this is contrary to federal structure of constitution, but Solicitor General of India has opined that it will be constitutionally and legally valid to pass the dam safety bill by exercising power conferred under Article 246, read with entry 56 and entry 97 of list 1 of the 7th schedule of the Constitution. So that formed the foundation of this Dam Safety Bill 2016. Bill was circulated to all states, and so many states gave their suggestions. Finally, the bill was submitted to the cabinet in 2018, and draft dam safety bill was approved by cabinet in 2018. The state of Tamil Nadu and Kerala have got some certain reservation on the draft bill. The provision of the bill attempted to address the objections raised by these states also. The same dam safety bill first was in its new avatar was introduced in Lok Sabha by Minister of Water Resources and River Development on December 12, 2018. Again, the term of 16th Lok Sabha came to an end, and therefore the dam safety bill lapsed. And with the dissolution of the 16th Lok Sabha, so it was reintroduced, and now it has been passed in its in its same avatar that was in 2016. So the objective of this dam is that a bill seeking to set up an institutional mechanism. Institutional mechanism is there. It has only to be formalized. And what will be the purpose of this institutional mechanism? It should cover surveillance, inspection, operation, maintenance of the specified dams. What are the specified dams? Those who have got height more than 15 meters, or those who have got height between 10 and 15 meters with certain condition. This may some foundation problem or some bigger storage or things like that. And the biggest thing is that 92% of these dams are on interstate river basins. Therefore, such dam safety act with central legislation becomes more imperative. So, as we have seen, there is a three-tier responsibility: dam owner level responsibility, state government level, and central government level. So, all these levels we have discussed, it is only to give them the formal status to this mechanism that the Dam Safety Act is thrusting. So, it is same. The name of this Central Dam Safety Organization has changed to National Dam Safety Authority. Rest everything is same. NCDS, State Dam Safety Committees also have been provided at state level in addition to State Dam Safety Organization, just like we have got NCDS for National Dam Safety Authorities. Rest everything is same. Obligations, we have all codified the same obligations which we had discussed earlier. And inspection of dams we have provided for in the Act. Who will do the inspection? How will do the inspection? And we are also emphasizing for the agencies which have got more than one dam, like NHPC or BPMC or BBC or so many electricity boards which are producing a lot of hydropower, they should also go for portfolio risk assessment also. Internationally, if we see, we have compared it with USA, Australia, Canada, and Norway, that such institutional arrangements exist in these states also. Approval for construction and alteration is required. Initial filling should be supervised. Periodic inspections should be there. Hydrometeoricals and seismic safety should be assessed. Instrumentation, comprehensive dam safety evaluation, etc. Everything that we have provided for in India are provided for in some sort of legal instruments internationally also. There are some possible challenges also to the Dam Safety Act because so many people have got some objections on the Dam Safety Act. They say that in National Committee on Dam Safety, there are only 7 states that are represented, and so we should have a effective rotation. Then there are some people who say that Maharashtra has got 2,000 dams, and if it is sitting outside the NCDS, so that can be unfair also. So there's some sort of rotation has to be devised, some sort of permanent members and temporary members, etc., has to be devised in such a way, probably Ministry of Water Resources will take care while forming the rules, subordinate legislations during the notification of these rules and subordinate legislations to take care of these objections. Then owners to have a dedicated dam safety unit which will have hydrological, seismological instruments, and this opens a big chunk of work to be done by all such 5,000 dam owners in a limited period which has been provided for in the act, that around 3 years they have to prepare all these documents and come out with setting up of the dedicated units and everything. Although it is even implied now, but now nobody is doing it. With the legal framework in it, people will have to do it, and it opens up a responsibility on dam safety professionals to accept the challenge and do the work in given time frame to fulfill the legal obligations. Then, if we are having a dam safety mechanism for 5,000 dams, then we have to also look into so many things as a professional. It is not that we have said, hey, all 5,000 dam owners come bring your emergency action plan and put on my table. Ultimately, we have to do it in a technical, humane manner, and we have to see that these plans are up to the mark and these documents are up to the required level and also of quality and standard. And therefore, this opens a very big area of possibility of automation. Automation only can help us, and we will need so many things like Internet of Things, data analytics, augmented virtual realities, artificial intelligence, and machine learnings and robotics. We have to take use of these things in our endeavor to implement the Dam Safety Act in a time-bound manner, fulfilling the legal requirements generated out of this new field. And here is the challenge for all of our professionals. We have to even adapt all these things, and we have to learn, we have to train ourselves, and we have to diversify our portfolio of experts to include these people in our work and supervise them to do the obligation of dam safety. And some challenges are for manufacturing sectors also, because there are issues about the reliability of sensors. We can do automate, but if the level reader is giving the reading wrong, then the whole foundation of instrumentation goes, and then it should be reliable, because it should not washed away in when it is needed most. जब सबसे तेज बरसात होती है तो उसकी बैटरी खत्म हो जाती है या वो फेल हो जाता है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So reliability of sensors have to be improved a lot. Manufacturing industry has to work for it. Then another big problem with us is that whatever are the embedded instruments which we embed in the while constructing the projects, if they fail, there is no corrective action. So some technological development has to be brought, that even if those instruments which are embedded, they have been failed, we can measure those parameters without relaying the dam, and some sort of geophysical or technical or instrumental or X-rays or whatever, I can't think. People have to think. But those pore pressure meters and those stress and strain meters that were embedded in the dam, if they are not giving the results, we have to find some mechanism to measure those pore pressures, measure those stresses or strains directly or indirectly. Then so much of the data recordings come to us, and there is no analysis of being done. There are some out of 5,000 dams, hardly 20 dams have got working instruments. Out of those 20 dams, some 2-3 dams are keeping those records very meticulously. Even those 2-3 dams, the dam owners tell us, sir, we have got so much record, what to do of it? So there are no alerting mechanism that this dam has tilted more or tilted less, or it has come under strain, or the pore pressure has at some area has increased, or somewhere the leakage has got more increased, or like those things. Those alerts are not generated, and we have to emphasize over the diversification of our expertise to data analytics. So data analytics is just not the dirty word which marketing people do from Facebook and trying to give you the advertisements of their choice. The data analytics has to be used in constructive manner by us for monitoring the health of the safety. So we have to adopt the technology in water resources sector, which we have been lacking, and the Dam Safety Act and the 3 years window for compliance is a real opportunity as well as real challenge to the professionals of water sector, to the professionals of dam engineers, and host of other experts also to rise to the challenge and take the technology to its logical conclusions. So thank you. I think I have finished it in 40 minutes or so. Now I invite everybody to have any question on these topics. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mathur sir. You have really finished in time. And it was a great presentation. Very comprehensively, you have covered entire topic. And Mugdha, now you can invite questions from the audience.
Thank you, Dhawan sir. Thank you, Mathur sir, for a wonderful and very informative presentation. Now the forum is open for discussion, and I can already see a few raised hands. I invite Mr. H.L. Arora, if he can unmute himself and express his
मेरी
views.
सिर्फ एक ही गुजारिश है
Yes.
that all the participants will shoot a pointed question, very short, and answer should also be very short so that we can have more questions.
Mathur sir, very wonderful presentation. One thing is missing in the Dam Safety Act. In the comments, we have written that the cost of the seismological monitoring, early warning system, and this inflow forecasting system should be established basin-wise, and cost should be shared. For example, for Terry, we have established inflow forecasting system, seismological monitoring system, and early warning system. But in the Srinagar Dam or the upper dam, they have not established, and there is no use of the system if it is established in the isolation. This point I have taken with the present director and chief engineer CWC also, that this should be included.
Actually, sir, the managements and managements of such things or the innovative such things, if we cast in act, then it becomes rigid and it becomes we need some sort of flexibility to the management. We have discussed this thing during the Rishiganga discussions also, that some sort of consortium have to be framed by all the dam owners of the basin, and they have to come out for common goods for regarding forecasting, regarding early warning, regarding weather and data sharing, and so many things. And at present, it was based only on goodwill, and now it is provided for in the Act. So Act says Tehri or Srinagar or whoever is the dam owner, he has to produce these data, he has to produce these early warning systems, he has to produce emergency action plans, and or he has to produce all those required legal obligations. Now it is up to him whether he does it in isolation or he is forced to go to upstream and downstream dam owners and say भैया जो मैं काम कर रहा हूं वही तुम करोगे, तुम भी इस पे 10 करोड़ रुपया खर्च करोगे, मैं भी इस पे 10 करोड़ रुपया खर्च करूंगा, ऐसा क्यों? हम 12 करोड़ रुपया मिलकर खर्च करते हैं और इकट्ठा प्लान बनाते हैं. सो दिस इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू come out come out with the out of box things, and I feel that various dam owners located in a particular basin or sub basin will rise to the occasion and do it. There are also some circuiting like this, that the Ministry of Power is thinking of giving all dams to in a sub-basin, all hydropower projects in a sub-basin to one particular developer only to circumvent these things. That can be a solution also, but the solution should be largely thought by the dam owners themselves. There are so many existing dam owners and there are so many projects that are coming up. They should come out with a financial model, maybe per megawatt or maybe per million meter cubic of storage, and they should come out with a joint data type of system, safety type of system, safety assurance type of system, and take this opportunity to talk to the stakeholders who are having concerns with dam safety. At present we say, अरे भाई मेरे यहाँ तो सब ठीक है, ऊपर से पानी आ गया. So now this ऊपर से पानी आ गया will not be part of this structure. ऊपर से पानी आ गया तो भी आपकी जिम्मेदारी है, नीचे से पानी आ गया तो भी आपकी जिम्मेदारी, सब अपनी अपनी जिम्मेदारियां बांट लो, and that will model some sort of consortium type of things have to come out.
Thank you.
Okay, Mathur sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mathur sir, I would like to request you to turn on your video because we are not able to see you.
Who?
I think
My
screen को हटाना पड़ेगा. ये sharing screen को हटा दो.
No, we can see him.
अच्छा,
I think he is visible.
I may unshare this screen, no?
No,
ये screen share हटा दीजिए तो आप screen.
But we can see him anyway.
Very good, very good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, we have Mr. Ashok Kumar with us. I invite him to the discussion.
माथुर साहब बहुत सवाल हैं, छोटा छोटा है.
जरूर सर, जरूर.
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
But you are not visible.
Yes, I just wanted to ask just very simple question. Mathur Sahab, you have mentioned reasons of dam failures. But is there any quantification about geological reasons for dam failures?
Not yet, sir. Not yet. Yeah, we
But,
should come out with
any-
that only.
any
The
notes?
immediate failure is always overtopping. The immediate failure is always piping, and nobody goes into the geological conditions. Yes, we should go into the geological conditions also.
But so far, I mean, there is no dam which has failed due to geological reasons.
No reported failure due to geological conditions. I should say clearly, and that
In
is
India.
the problem. That is why we
In India.
nowadays
In
In
India.
India.
our dam safety panels,
In India.
we are putting a geologist as a must in dam safety review panels, so that these aspects also are represented properly.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you,
Ashok,
sir.
elsewhere there are cases where dams have failed due to
नहीं सर, अल्टीमेटली
geological
अगर
and
shear फेलियर भी होता है, अगर मान लीजिए कोई मतलब फॉल्ट है जिसमें से पानी निकल रहा है, तो भी अल्टीमेटली तो हम यही कहेंगे ना, पाइपिंग हो गया भाई इसलिए डैम फेल हो गया. सो
actually
रीजन विल नॉट कम आउट दैट देयर वाज ए फॉल्ट एंड फॉल्ट से पानी जो है निकल रहा था और उससे पाइपिंग हुआ है. तो
इंजीनियरिंग जियोलॉजी की तो शुरुआत ही डैम फेल्योर से, 2-3 डैम फेल हुए हैं 50s और 60s में, उसके बाद ही इंजीनियरिंग जियोलॉजी
So
की.
this aspect was missing whenever we were analyzing these dam failure reports. This aspect was missing, and even before the Dam Safety Act came, I myself emphasized that a geologist must be part of the dam safety review panel, and that has been prescribed in the guidelines that a geologist must be part of the dam safety review panels.
माथुर साहब, आपने नाम से पहचान लिया अशोक कुमार जी को वो जियोलॉजिस्ट है, या सवाल से पहचाना?
यस, नहीं सब दोनों ही सही सर.
अशोक कुमार जी मेरे क्लास फेलो हैं, हम लोग साथ साथ पढ़े हैं. he retired as DDG GSI. जी.
I would like to add one thing.
Yes sir.
I am Prabhas Pandey. I would like to add one thing here, that during this 2001 Bhuj earthquake, a very large number of earthen embankments failed because of liquefaction. So if you take liquefaction as the geological reason, then you have got many examples where dams have failed because of the ground condition.
That is correct, sir. But the dam failures in Gujarat after the Bhuj earthquakes have not been reported. That is the biggest problem with our database things. We have got a list of only 36 dam failures, and Gujarat 2001 failures are not there.
There are some 157 earthen embankment dams in Kutch district, and out of that, almost 70% failed to little extent and to very large extent.
And that has not come out. That is why we are codifying this Dam Safety Act. This is the main reason of codifying the Dam Safety Act, because goodwill takes us only to a particular level, and after that it stops working. So we knew that so many dams have failed. We knew that so many liquefactions, etc., have taken place. But we were unable because nobody tried to report. People after people came from the states to NCDS. None reported any dam failure. But now you have got a legal responsibility to report these failures, to give the not only to report these failures, but to assess the causes properly and load it on your website. That is the type of obligation that we wanted to create. We don't want to hang anybody, but we want that your mistake should be my experience. So entire thrust of the National Dam Safety Act is that all goodwills are classified. We don't want to go into responsibility fixing, whose quality control was bad, or who did not do what he should do, or who did what he should not do. We only want that all these data come into public domain, all these data improve our state of art, and your mistake should be my experience, so that I don't repeat the same mistake. My dam should not fail as your dam has failed.
Okay, Mukta, next question.
Next, I would like to request Mr. Yoginder Sharma.
Good evening, everyone. Mathur Saab, congratulations to you for giving a very elaborate and very comprehensive discussion. And I also congratulate Central Water Commission to come up with such a huge effort behind getting this act passed. With that, I would say that it has come, as you have said, that 5,000 dams late, in the sense that to me it appears that as soon as a dam is started to be constructed, the Dam Safety Act should have a control over it. Now that it has come that late, naturally the 5,000 dams which are already constructed have their particular angle to be previewed under it, but those whatever are under construction, they should also be brought under the purview of Dam Safety Act, and their right from the beginning, as you said, instruments are embedded and they are not found later to be functioning. So all those aspects can be addressed right from the beginning if the dams under construction are also brought under the ambit of Dam Safety Act. This is my first point. And second point I find is in the Dam Safety Act is missing is that we have not covered the design aspects, because design is also a major contributor to the safety of a dam or any pertinent structure of a hydroelectric project. This I am saying with a background of Puna Sanchi projects, because I was associated with those projects for quite a lot of time, and I can vouch for it that the failures, uh, if such controls are there from the Dam Safety Act on the designs also, some failures could be averted. Many will not be able to be averted, but still many failures will have to be averted, can be averted. So my that request would be that the authorities that are there in the control of the Act should also include design aspects. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Both are good suggestions. But the first thing is that, as you said, dam safety mechanism should trigger right during the construction. Dam safety mechanism is about the existing dams when the construction is over and a hazard has been created for upstream or downstream people by a authority which is taking benefit of that structure. Therefore, it has been designed as a dam safety. Dam Safety Act is covering the existing dams. The under construction dams should are already covered under so many things, because their influence is only the workers who are there. So workers should be protected under Industrial Dispute Act, and Industrial Safety Act safety provision should be there, and so many other civil and criminal laws that apply for the safety of the project under construction. Second thing is about design. Yes, design is a very important part and it is covered in Dam Safety Act. If the design part is the design is basically part of the construction activity. So designs, if there are some construction problems or design problems, they should all be documented into the completion report. The Dam Safety Act starts only after the completion report portion comes, and once this completion report comes, Dam Safety Act provides that all these designs and completion report should be well documented and published, placed in the public domain. And second thing is that whenever there are comprehensive inspections, comprehensive inspection provides for assessing the structural safety of the dam. So structural safety of the dam means the design has to be reviewed. It has to be checked according to the renewed loads. If there is some change in the loads like seismic factors or seismic loads, or there are changes in the codal provisions, then those structural aspects have to be reviewed during the comprehensive dam safety review, which we prescribe that it should be done in 5 to 10 years. And structural safety includes the designs. Designs is very important part, and any lacuna in the design reflects over the performance of the dam, reflects over the safety of the people. And yes, it is very important. I fully agree to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I would like to invite Dr. Rajpal Singh.
Good evening to all. Thank you very much, Dhawan Saab. I must congratulate DDAG to have this lecture at the right time when the dam safety bill has been passed. And I am fortunate enough that I was part of a dam design review panel, and we visited 3 dams, Nathpa Jhakdi, which is one of the largest projects, Karcham, and Baspa Barrage, which is called Kuppa, at the end of last week of December, recently. And a very nice document, very exhaustive document has been prepared by CWC to look after the dam safety views. And I was happy to visit this dam as Natpa Jagadi was commissioned in 2003 and this Karcham in 2010. And as Mathusa was telling that embedded instruments, if they are not working, it's not good. But I think many expensive instruments are in working order and reports are also being prepared. Regarding the dam safety from the construction, once we start this dam safety review panels, I think then people will be worried from the day one about these instruments and they'll be taking care of these instruments and they'll be analyzing the data. That is very, very important. I have also visited earlier many dams. Data is there, but they are not being analyzed. Regarding the installation, I was in charge of quality control and instrumentation Tala project. And during my time, out of 282 instruments, 277 instruments were in working order. And I prepared 6 reports. That time I could not see any report. But now during this visit, I could see the report, I could see the analysis of data because these dams are being looked after by dam safety review panels very regularly. And once you start doing this, then everything will be in bit. And thank you very much, Mr. Mathur, for an exhaustive lecture, very nice lecture at the right time. Thank you very much. These were my views. Thank you very much, sir.
Uh, I now invite Mr. Balraj.
One more
Yes.
thing. I forgot it. In fact, our team was led by Mr. A.B. Pandya, ex-chairman CWC. Mr. Handa was also there. Mr. S.K.G. Pandit was also there. And there was a geologist, Mr. Gupta from NHPC. And while going through the replies in the document, they also felt that there was no difference between a barrage and the dam and the parameters have to be different. So those things can also be improved when we do this work under the safety authority. Thank you very much.
Correct.
Thanks, sir.
Next.
Mr. Balraj Joshi, sir.
Thank you, Mugdha. And I think one of my questions which was in my mind has already been answered by Mr. Mathur, just as a passing reference. It was regarding the public safety in and around dams. The people who are living around the dams, they are the people who basically suffer most. So I think at the ICOR level also, there's a particular committee now which is doing a work, and I'm slightly a part of that committee, that public safety concerns in and around the area of the dams. Mr. Mathur briefly referred to that as upstream, sedimentation starts, what happens to the villages upstream, what happens downstream. Because dam safety per se, when you say, it is slightly an agitating kind of a terminology saying that probably dam is going to fail. Whenever we do the dam break analysis also. But here the idea is that people who have actually given their land and who are living around the dam areas, their safety is of paramount concern. Their way of life has been changed by the dams. So whether our dam safety bill takes care of that particular issue, that's likely needs more elaboration by Mr. Mathur. That's one part. And second is regarding the instrumentation, I would say, in 1993, we visited a dam in France. And that was a dam which was constructed way back in 1960. It was an earthen dam, it's a Rockford dam, and it was very well instrumented. And to our surprise, all the instruments were functioning very nicely. Now, why they have been able to do that as early as in 1960 and why we are not able to do it as late as in 2021, this soul searching has to be there. What strikes me to my mind is that we are not spending enough money for instrumentation. Instrumentation is just mentioned as a small 0.01% of the total dam cost. I would say that if everybody, each one of us is stressing on the instrumentation part, dam safety bill would have done better had they fixed some kind of amounts or ceiling limits actually for the instrumentation that must be spent. Now, this would give a boost to the instrumentation industry also. Right now, instrumentation is only a vastram samrapayami kind of a thing that you, for the heck of it, you have to provide some instruments. But you are not really, from the day one you embed the instruments in a dam, you are sure that they are not going to work. So I may be making an overstatement, but this is my experience. And therefore, since the manufacturers also know that the cost is not going to be spent by the dam owners, so you get whatever quality of the instruments you are getting. When in France in 1960, the same thing can be manufactured, which can function till 1993, when I've seen them last. Why can't we do it with all kind of scientific advancements which we boast of? I think the catch here lies that some kind of monetary, that this particular amount must be spent on instrumentation. Otherwise, we are going to have again such discussions, and finally will not have any dams with worthwhile instrumentation data available. So this is what I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. These 2 points are very important points. And the instrumentation portion first. Regarding the instrumentation, it is hardly 0.5% of the total cost of the project. And whenever we are monitoring the projects, the biggest problem is the monitoring of the project during construction. As Mr. Y.K. Sharma also said that the emphasis of ours is different. Our emphasis is to achieve the progress. And progress is achieved if so much excavation has taken place, so much concreting has taken place, so much steel has come, so many gates have been manufactured, and all those milestones we take care. And 0.5% or 1%, some 2-4 करोड़ रुपया कहीं इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन का है, वो आया तो आया, नहीं आया तो नहीं आया. Even the project managers even don't ask कि what happened. And same carelessness is reflected while we are constructing the dam. उसको वो जो इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन वाला आया है उसने इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स अपनी पे लगा दिया है, और दूसरा जो कंस्ट्रक्शन वाला आया उसने कॉम्पैक्ट रोलर शीप फुटेड रोलर जो है उसके ऊपर से फेर दिया है, तार टूटे तो टूटे और वो इंस्ट्रूमेंट क्रश हो तो हो. सो दोज carelessness have been always there as a part of construction, because instrumentation is a very small portion of the total cost. Same thing has happened even in drip also. In drip we had for rehabilitating a particular dam, we have a package, a civil engineering package. Civil engineering package is mostly leakage proofing or grouting or crack filling or pointing, wrecking of the pointing and all those things. It is a very big. Then there is a mechanical package, hydromechanical package. Hydromechanical package is smaller, and people do it for some sort of seals, rubber seals and all those things. And then there is a instrumentation package. It is so small that they say that the entire package, 98% of the progress has been achieved, and now you drop this dam from monitoring. You drop this progress of monitoring. Whereas I say that instrumentation was the package which should have been taken first, but that is taken last. And even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So, but the legal responsibility of through Dam Safety Act is that मुझे नहीं पता कि आपने इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन आपके काम कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं. I am a downstream beneficiary. I want to know कि आपकी टो पे स्ट्रेस क्या है. आप उसको खोद के बताओ, आप उसको गिलगिल गू करके बताओ, जैसे करके बताना है मुझे बताइए. Then probably the new dams will have better instrumentation. But otherwise I will take you to the court.
I think it will improve the quality of
instrumentation. Decommissioning of dam मांगते हैं, तो अगर आपका इंस्ट्रूमेंट काम नहीं कर रहा है तो कुछ लोग डिकमिशनिंग ऑफ डैम को की रिट्स लेकर सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जाएंगे, कहेंगे साहब इनको पता ही नहीं है कि इनकी टो पे कितनी स्ट्रेस है और ये पानी भरे जा रहे हैं, मेरे को तो मार डालेंगे ये, भले ही इट इज नॉट करेक्ट. सो दिस गिव्स अस ए लीगल पुश कि आपको ये काम करना है, आपको करना पड़ेगा, आपको सर्वाइव करने के लिए करना पड़ेगा. So that is how the Dam Safety Act will trigger so many actions, and so many things will get overemphasized, which otherwise should have been overemphasized, but were not.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. And now request Dr. Gopal Dhawan to give his concluding remarks.
First of all, my profuse thanks to Mathur sir for his wonderful presentation, followed by a very a lively session of question answer. I thank all our participants also for shooting very brilliant questions on Mr. Mathur. It was a very nice session which the Academy has had for the last so many months. In fact, Mr. Mathur is an authority on the subject. While serving in Central Water Commission, he had contributed significantly for drafting the Dam Safety Bill, and you must have seen his command on the subject. He has given a complete background and chronology of formation of this bill. I but now the biggest challenge is that we have to create a kind of capacity. We have to do a lot of capacity building to take up this challenge, which is before us, before our hydropower engineers and water resources engineers. Because after receiving presidential assent on 30th of December, now it is a law. And now it is incumbent upon all the owners, whether in government or in private, to fulfill their obligations. In my view, there is shortage of manpower who can really take up this kind of work. And our academy has decided to launch a training program with help of Mr. Mathur, which will, and slowly, we will try to fulfill this gap which we are facing, that we are feeling that there is capacity building is required. And Joshi Saab, to support and supplement your observation, I will quote remarks or statement of our Honorable Minister of Jal Shakti, Shri Gajendra Singh Ji Shekhawat, and I quote, "The safety and security of our dams is a matter of great concern, as it is not just about infrastructure, but also the question of thousands of lives around and affected by them." So I think your observation that dams are, the people around the dams suffer the most, and we should address it. And as Mr. Mathur has very aptly said, that now so many things which have been performed by all of us without this act will also come into force, and there will be greater focus and concern about the safety and security of dam and the public around them. So thank you once again, each one of you. And with this, we close today's session.